Hello and welcome. Welcome to the front hall. All right, I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to move it with great care and reverence. Oh man, it has got, I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a lot of dust. What kind of dust? I don't know. All right, whoa. I'm going to put this back, even without the top of the case, in the container from where it was. And I'm going to go under the table here. I'm going to get something else that has been sitting here for some while. Oh yeah. Also, untested. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And what could it possibly be? Well, it's an Amiga 1000. That's what it is. Whoa! Oh, the foam. Anyway, so similar to the other machine, I'm not going to open it up yet. Oh, we're running out of video cable here. Hang on. Oh, I'll move this to get to the video. And one of the things you can tell when you turn it on. Oh, yes, it would help if the power bar was on. One would think. Am I hearing anything? I detect a fan spinning. Ah, wait a second. Kickstart. Okay, it took a moment. But there it is now. Oh, I do remember that in here, oh yeah, there was some discs that might be helpful for this endeavor. Kickstart 1.1, Kickstart 1.2, Kick 1.3. Let's try this. Let's see what happens. If anything. Oh. Oh, I hear something, but I don't see anything. Now, once again, here's a Kickstart 1.2. It sounds like what we have here is quite possibly disk drive troubles. Kickstart 1.1. Mind you, many of these disks in here could be defective. You just don't know. What do we have? Workbench. 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 Another Kickstart disk that we have not tried yet. You know, to me, it just doesn't sound like the disk drive is doing its thing. It just doesn't. And so, I don't imagine it will load anything. One thing, I don't hear the drive clicking. I do not. And that is typically a sign that good things are happening. The power just comes on, and it is asking for Kickstart. good sign. But I heard a little disk drive noise there, but not much. All right, well, while I'm here, see, on the Amiga 1000, a lot of things came. Ooh, ComSpec. Oh, yes, ComSpec made good stuff. ComSpec Communications Inc. Indeed. Anyway, they did make good things, and they had good cases. There were some Amiga 1000 side things that you'd stick on, and oh my golly. The cases looked like someone had gone out in the backyard and bent some metal over. These were good things. Anyway, I don't suspect this is going to make any difference at all. It's just going to come up and ask for Kickstarter, which is a fine thing, but we're not getting anywhere, and we're not going to get anywhere because, well, right. Okay, hold the presses. I hear the drive. It is now clicking. It was not clicking before. That is potentially encouraging. No. Well, it sounded good for a moment. It did. But I do hear it clicking. But I would not be surprised if there are issues. So once again, this is another thing where I'm going to have to get other machines, other parts, other things out to see what's what. I think for the moment, I'll leave this plugged in. Maybe I will turn it off again and cycle it again. Feel. Oh yeah, I can feel the air from the fan. That is encouraging. But the machine is, while making the clickety-click noise, is not happening. I wonder, I'm sure it's in here. Oh, there's probably a screw. Oh, no, there isn't a screw. This cover, oh man, yep, there it is. The 266K RAM expansion, it was an accessory that you could get, but really any Amiga that didn't have it was basically like you had to get it. I don't know anybody that didn't get it, and why they made it sort of an optional accessory. Was I supposed to just charge more money for the extra RAM? Yep. You needed to have that expansion thing. You just did, that's all. And this thing here, I don't know what this is. It could be a hard drive controller. It could be extra RAM. It too is dusty. And a little, well, not really crusty, but dusty for sure. I wonder if this screwdriver fits nicely. Oh. I guess it's nicely enough. Anyway, ComSpec, a wonderful thing. A wonderful place. Oh yeah. I actually worked there for a while. And I kind of felt bad the way I left, but you know, it had to be. Although it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Okay. So 4 screws. And then we will have an idea what this beautiful ComSpec device would be. And indeed, it does look like from here it is a RAM expander. And it also gives a pass-through. You can add something else. And I would suspect there will be 8 little boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, there are. And where are my glasses? Did I put them over here? I did. Okay. And this says ComSpec Communications made in Canada AX2000 version 1.2. 1686. Da 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 da. What else? Little chips, support chips. Most everything soldered directly into the board. Only one little wire that looks like an afterthought. And 8 little boards that actually are also soldered directly in. So how much RAM does this add? I don't know, because it really doesn't say. And I don't see any switches or dip switches. My gut tells me, because this was near the beginning of the things that were happening, probably it adds 2 megabytes. Probably. But I don't know. I can't imagine it's 8. And I can't really see what the chips say to know for sure. But of course, there are 64 of them. There are 8 boards, and each one has 8 chips. So 64 tiny little chips. Kind of look like the preamble to, well, they're not surface mount exactly, but they're tiny. And made in Japan. So they probably bought all these, and then the board was their creation. ComSpec, they started doing all kinds of things, kind of like Commodore. They who started with typewriters. ComSpec did things with CB radios, maybe some things that weren't exactly legal, and scanners. Maybe they let people scan things that the police didn't want them to scan, but you know, things happen. Made in Canada. AX2000. Yeah, my gut tells me 2 megabytes. But I could be wrong. I'm just still looking for any signs of a jumper that would let you change the configuration. There is a thing here that says Prestige-2-0. There is. Anyway, who knows for sure? What I really need to do, I suppose, is find another Amiga 1000 that is working, and that will boot up, and put Kickstart in, put Workbench in, and see what it says, assuming it's working. That would be good. Anyway, on the Amiga 1000, of course, that's why I like the 2000 so much, and that everything you added had to be added onto the side. So they all had pass-throughs, and you could get, I remember there was this one machine when I was in Florida. I think it had 6 different things. It had RAM and hard drive things and memory things and all kinds of things. And one time, because it was Florida, of course, I would always tell people, if you're not using your machine, unplug it. Like, don't just turn the power bar off. Unplug the power bar. Because there were often spikes. There was a lot of thunder. There was a lot of lightning. Ugh, dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. So, like, if you're going out, unplug it. And if you hear that big afternoon storm rolling through, stop working, unplug it. Anyway, this machine got hit. And of course, it didn't work. But thankfully, because lightning works and power surges work in mysterious ways, the Amiga 1000 was fine. And all the cards or add-on things were fine, except the very last one. That is where the damage was done. And I don't remember if it was a hard drive controller or a memory thing or what it was. But that is why the 1000, they would grow. And then, of course, there was a thing called the sidecar, which was an IBM module to go onto the side. And it plugged on the side. And then these things, you could, if this was only 2, it's conceivable, if you were so inclined, you might end up with 4 of these plugged in. Possibly. And then maybe a hard drive thing. And maybe a sidecar. Anyway, the Amiga 1000, where it all began. It did indeed. It did indeed. Oh, another thing you might have had plugged inside, and I think it had one of the cards on the side, was an easel. A great friend of mine who I've lost touch with years ago, and I regret it, Joanne Park, was an incredible artist. She did incredible things, a lot of them based on Star Trek. Just remarkable stuff. And actually, I sold her Amiga 1000 when I was at Electronics 2001, which at the time was part of ComSpec. And also she got an easel, which was like a pallet, a great big thing. And I think it too had a thing that stuck on the side. But the things that she did for the time, I can't imagine. I wish I knew what she was doing now. I wish I knew where she was. And I wish I'd never lost touch. So Joanne Park, if you're out there, I'm waiting. Anyway, so that is another surprise from under the table here. I suppose there will be more. Anyway, thanks so much for coming. Thanks for being here. Have a lovely day. I'll continue to explore the treasures from beneath and around the table in the front hall. Have a lovely day. Bye for now. Don't knock the 1000 off the table. Don't do it.